achievement or more achieving in Yinano. Yet Yanum, Debiana Yaba, Yabebo Pedri Abaso, Yabebo Biabaso. But I believe that this is the time in our Wojak Sexney, a bit any the respect wenya in the whole career.
Yeah.
Share, Obeda go post Mudiama Arsenal, Obeda go post Mudiama Juventus, Obeda go post Mudiama AS Roma. These are not small clubs. Any small clubs. The circumstances surrounding the way Obefa the number one spot were Arsenal. Did not earn him the respect as at the time are not all free club in Mudiako. Because he came into the scene Abra Fabianski ni Ammonia in a pride. In 2010, a Premier League match against Manchester United. Obian himself match we see the Kukru Manchester United be Arsenal. Finally, Omutimi secure something out of that game. But I didn't free club ni muni say. Yes, we just says in a kwako changing room, Sebi or Shibi. Or bossy great sa iti what disrespected team no. Iti man in that go movie. That was the initial discussions around Kwame Befa be free Arsenal. Ye can Arsenal bench no. Emma he had to force him to move to loan. Ewo AS Roma. AS Roma acquired 2 years. Or the one I listen back by. And I listen back in the position with AS Roma. Roma force with the Onyadie. Meanwhile, 2 seasons now or that Roma no. He kept a solid 14 clean sheets in 2016-2017 season. Roma now omo highest tally in terms of points accumulation, 87 points that season. You say Wojak Sexton in him go that. Omo dinatem. And Amorim say all free Arsenal no a J 2 FA Cup titles plus a Community Shield title. Then he moves on to Juventus. No matter the league titles are with Juventus, no be mu kramposi Juventus defense ne boa no. Because Chiellini ni Bonucci ebo ejina nanim eboa no. Nti no nya ade. O man for respect amano. But I ask myself say, what to me that Arsenal be number 1 goalkeeper? What betu Fabianski? If you remember how good Ammonia was, because Ammonia nya ade. But Ammonia was good. Fabianski wabe number 1. Ye jan home man ko. Then waba AS Roma. Abedama AS Roma toso second in the league. Almost onya ade. Wako Juventus don wako league titles yes onya ade. But ene the respect I pray within these 3 clubs no. Barcelona and Wababenya sa respect no. And fancy texter game pra or tifie akofane so better go push mu. And I believe we added enough experience and skill to the backline of FC Barcelona. And me assure say Kubasi jina honoma he will be very proud say when ya obi ti say Sexney ejina ne chia obeka che ne say jina ha fa memfa because this is a goalkeeper wabo with top professional players.
Yeah.
Even in the history of Polish goalkeepers, and you may attached to them, no be our dear man Yasronko. Thomas Zielinski, or better go post me 1974, or Babejo Olympic gold medal, Ubenya the Oba Liverpool Dudek, or the Liverpool Babejo Champions League in 2005, or Beko Real Madrid. Or now good stories attached to them when it comes to the history of Polish goalkeepers, including Sexney Senior, Amonia Sexney Papa. Our that go post Mudema Pola national team said that ledger was all. But that way, dear no be fanning your I love how Hansi Flick, a man of a renewed hope, our that go post anymore. He could end the season having a beautiful story for Air Barcelona and himself. No establishing the respect. Game. There be fine and the quality now what dine dino. I so much respect him. But Hansi Flick has not only given Barcelona good tactics or good system to win games, but our team not a renewed hope. Even in terms of individual players. We've spoken about the story of Rafinha. Baby o free bani baby I know about the draw near him say Arsenal Barcelona prend na to baby. So omo man to aso fama omo. But Adani amen Rafinha about the star man for Barcelona. What the other to nchen there's 6 na no native ye. Ah go no kra no I say on the BBM. Wako fan the number. And not only so about a part of the team, he's the number 1 goalkeeper for FC Barcelona. I don't think people really understand how to be a number 1 goalkeeper for Barcelona. Barcelona, yes, our club, number 1 man. We need to underrate it. Top club. Omobo in different competitions, they are vying for the treble this season. And Wababe the number 1 at the Amomo. Pedri Pra, no Akwaba, Opra, no Akwaba. Near Sheddon, ya hope for Marco that way. but Akorana be consistent within this team. Inigo Martinez was nowhere to be found. After Bilbao,
under Xavi
no more Tomo. Our Bilbao, he had a solid career. But Obepimo FC Barcelona, nobody actually respected. So Obetima Bedu Bebezo say. So Hansi Flick has given this club a renewed hope, not only by resource, not only by system, not only by tactics, but renewing the hope of careers that were lost. And management, coaches be on one club, they will give you system, they will give you tactics, they will give you resource. By giving renewed hope to careers that were lost, it takes another level to achieve such a feat. And I think Hansi Flick, baby or the Barcelona nam, any ball no more born any results no more achieving. Fancy, I'm saying, say, even if season no query and only one trophy, will leave you an indelible mark in the heart of these supporters, and they will forever remember him. Not only players in Kwano Momo renewed hope, club no nanka kofom, Gideon nim, Obienim say enye ye, Skasamasa, Yoma Dane, Bawaba. We're stabilizing BBR. This is the level of coaching you will love.
And La Masia product.
And La Masia product. Yeah. And the results are the Momo. 1 point ahead of Real Madrid. Any no more person more achieve with Real Madrid no. Hey, baby, I'm more see in any league no. Maybe the Kakacho say to be decided to at the latter stage of the season. You know, Barcelona and Real Madrid will return leg. Is Amorim going to be in the same kind of situation that Manchester United are finding themselves in back in the days in 1969 and 1970? And Melanin Krabia the better because team Nyoma be Brasisa and they've gone back to rebuilding the team and doing the right things to get the results. Maybe you don't know. But you did to me a pass. Sorry
to cut you. More share live Facebook and I say YouTube no more function with them. Network and I'm say baby
the network is poor.
You start to cry. You streaming late. I know. I'm say Shadrach man trying to most amount for complaining what is happening. Network and yeah in fear. Yeah, general idea. To more function. Why?
So people will be eager say any Mpamu Amorim. But can we ask ourselves genuine questions? He said, "What's Saki Amorim and the best of Manchester United problem now?" You see, let's ask ourselves these genuine questions. Say, the moment you sack Ruben Amorim,
I'm saying YouTube they are very stable.
Very stable.
Very
yes,
stable.
YouTube are very stable. So make my YouTube. The moment you sack Ruben Amorim, no, Manchester United in your man will go through. Never sana. Number two. So what Saki Ruben Amorim will Manchester United become instant Premier League contenders? We can give situations where clubs be one more master managers and your man done within the twinkle of an eye. A bit is Barcelona there, your boy Hansi Flick Basui. Now Obianim say ye, but your Pamo Javina Barcelona by Barcelona Babe Dani even treble contenders. So bit imagine the treble amana ye. But what checking Manchester United situation now? Offer different type of coaches to fix this problem, but it is not fixing by itself. Share Omakofa philosophical coach, Omakofa the chosen one, Omakofa the special one, Omakofa be the number by team the baby jina. I will say this and say this again. Sacking managers at Manchester United has not proven to be the solution to solve the problems that they have. Manchester United here a solid foundation be on the team ni kodrua. Coach be about team ni bibiano omre. For example, whatever Klopp did with this Liverpool team, we're making a solid foundation. Be on my Anslot before team. Anslot struggle gidi but or born home modern. One struggle gidi but or born home modern. Team let me form to my paddy fra because the foundation is solid. Claudio Ranieri with Chelsea under Roman Abramovich. There was a solid foundation that was laid in 2003-2004. Before Jose Mourinho ever picked a team no in 2004-2005. Its foundation was laid. Obi Obabe Sumia Babe Twaso Obe successful.
Yeah.
Manchester City from Mancini to Pellegrini. There was a solid foundation that was laid in the club. So Okofa manager biya ne ba mani be som mani be ye adwumana e betimi abuild amani o matimi akoyie. But be sure so omokofa Ruben Amorim due to the story or no enya as a footballer. Any story onya ye with Sporting CP. Any baby or pick Sporting CP di omo free here. E di omo buy Abemo foundation ain't na Manchester United wo GDS yanko fan ye day e fanembra. He comes in the middle of the season. Onya signings bia He wants to instill his system upon this team. Mausa Manfo na systematic coach and Manchester United. Let me ask ourselves, say, or my conform mobile in ya omuka no munya systematic coaches bomba kran fan momo. Club no problems no goes deep within it. And I believe say club na ya nyoma bi also mo correcting nyoma bi. And spiritually club na kasa so ye weak. I don't know if you realize it. Nothing is working for Manchester United in terms of even luck. I didn't move piano and move favor omo. Omo ba den kra na mo nchen baby. Nothing is seriously working for the club. And I believe in some things. He say, "Hey, told me how you treat some people within the club. Wow. And they will need to work all of these things out to make sure the club no. Manchester United film FA Cup no quarter final. Bibian shedensi perform ne nyoma na omo ye ni sisi ano. Bibian and a coach in the tactics three back and a three back and emfa win back. But me busa question be say their games are this team three back system no. Players now are committed to it on my body and your results. Man for come for more. It is the internet to me bonya bibi or results for baby. Now Sambre no aside and I want to me for your results for baby. Now
man you benya botra Amorim.
Man you needs to get also munya botra the man. And yes on mubenya mano they need to be very patient. Also munya botra the man. Because why you was sporting CPM and Manchester United supporters and fan show mutrim say form is temporal, class is permanent. The form of Manchester United should tell you it's a team ni ndru baby on betima competing. We only prepare over the cracks. Adechi ane akwaji FA Cup bi ni akata so me am the person Manchester United crown no. So muko trophyless this season I'll be very happy. Because if they don't go trophyless, they will win trophy and come back again. Oh, team no ayeye. Because 2 seasons in here, you bought FA Cup final ni aje Carabao Cup. And Ten Hag, yes the team na ayeye. The following season Manchester United surface. No makwaji FA Cup. Oh, team na ye. So they only paper over the cracks, and they are failing to build a foundation. Me say, United supporters need one more. We need to rebuild. We need to rebuild. You are ready for a rebuild, but you are not ready for the pain that is attached to rebuilding a club. So Bruno Fernandes ain't me and really career. Now Bruno Fernandes, I did what you want you are say, or the Sporting CP akwaje the Portuguese Cup, and I say one in them more the Manchester United abeje Carabao Cup. At the Manchester United, the FA Cup, Debbie Bruno deserves more than that. He needs to leave for the club to rebuild and rebuild around another player. Sure, Bruno Fernandes, what's a story about how I joined Manchester United? You believe so? One player or the club ni pa. Fancy Bruno Fernandes received the story say or joining Manchester United. Ne sebi okoshe TFC no kuti ekon because the agent in time for any time. And I do 10 now call ne buy no kwashe ho no. Ye class over come Manchester United na dane ni su. Sooner than no na yiri begina ne chebe ka chere se be ma nsu. Ade ne sabo na beti ka chere se debi. Am also wabrem. Brena wabre woni wiase na akofa sport ni nyina because omunyini ba na obi ehwe Cristiano Ronaldo. Portuguese young talents be omunyini bi ehwe se Ronaldo bo Manchester United obeje world best fama no. It is a meso me ko ho a no ma betimi aboa de ama me. Okache ne agent ni se nya kasa tintim bi asesa me ne o ma no a January transfer window. Let's go quickly. Manchester United. Watch that their club, no. Watch the level of commitment their club, no. But this club is failing Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is not failing Manchester United, but Manchester United is failing Bruno Fernandes due to the level of commitment. Okay. Over we say club obey. Bruno when the numbers ne kuta ne your man no. Any other club and Bruno Fernandes, no Manchester United can literally even sell him. Say the be omo to omo club nim. Ubetimenya 80 million pounds, 90 million pounds, 95 for Bruno Fernandes. The number speaks for itself. What about your club, Juma? What in terms of selling him to get the money? Bruno no so one by moving to another club to get results and win major trophies. Now, or Manchester United to 2028. Bruno, Pebe nefa Tifa club no conform. Afei ano mo hye sadeba.
Wo, meza me da say na
fancy me da say to start with, Yansha CM free Italy. I think the race is getting interesting. Napoli, Inter Milan, and the two teams met over the weekend. Omushiaya, Antonio Conte against his former side, Normo Hessen and Yoma Besiako, and then Lukaku also against his former side. The game ended 1-1, which is a respectable scoreline. But I think they are any drawn kwa for Welusubako, and it does not speak well of a teamer or pressure or budget title, especially when you have a contender and now a close challenger in Inter Milan, almost defending champions. 4 out of an available 15 points. Sticker. It means that with the remaining 11 games, Napoli per this form can only produce no more than 9 points. So a good form for winning a title, and there needs to be an improvement. A DNAC, Shinsi, but Inter no ne kontokwano, ne ho adensen.
Yeah.
They have the experience, they have the squad depth, and they understand what it takes because Ulusu bina Wusuya. Inter lost the title to AC Milan. They did not win it when Napoli won it in the 2022-2023 season. And last year, the Babaje. Into a Hunu Senior, Ulusu title is here, and we see Muaba, and dear Rim now. And now they know how to play some of these games and get the result. Into starting February of this year, now Napoli in our advantage with a buffer of there 4 or 5 points. Year February, year matchimo, Inter na be fractured the another show. And on Napoli na be shia when you're a point out of this game. If you can't beat those you are challenging the title with, you are losing out. But again, the factors and the explanation can create a bembion and so Lukaku. I think it's not the Lukaku we knew. Oh, Bema Emre. You see,
wow.
Obayini na, but Lukaku to said you need him as explosive as he was. In the season that Conte won the title, and yes, Lukaku Nibion, because one, the physicality is dropped a bit because of age. So he's not as explosive. Jebo fend through Mika first, but our experience nekakra. Now you will need him to push. Unfortunately, okay, can you boom, but in Nisa, and they will affect you. Conte might use this season to learn. Obesuya. Now I hear Kwanye Obefaswa. He will get other players to beef up the team, no, going forward. But for this season, I think it's an advantage in a shift at the core a year Inter Milan for him. Because Napoli into me, there is a chance, but it's slim. Send the Inter for Sojano. If Napoli will win, it will be because Inter will self-capitulate. That's what man kasabe Diego. But I think it will be Inter's league to take. But my biggest concern from Italy would be the red and black side of Milan, the Rossoneri's. And I think this has been a bad period for them because the preparation and everything was also wrong. One, Ibrahimovic, he's a respectable figure. Ibrahimovic, but Ibrahimovic, he lacks the necessary experience to take them there. And I believe most of the decisions they've taken are not right or proper football decisions. They are decisions that will really interest or more interested in news, media, PR. But for footballing reasons, they are wrong. One, in appointing a manager to replace Stefano Pioli. So what step it down? Echo for Fonseca. Fonseca had no credential in Italy. He had no achievement. He need to be at the button and say, oh, Fonseca, the only thing was, qualify for Champions League. But Milan's ambitions are different from the coach they hired. Coach and should have been Antonio Conte. He comes in with that reputation. He comes with that pedigree. Into Urbano. And the experience of Conte would have helped someone like Ibrahimovic and Geoffrey Moncada because Conte knows what it has to take to build your squad and move on. He knows it. Why be with Juve? Why be with Inter Milan? Or about England? He's done successfully well with Chelsea.
Yeah.
So on him, what it takes to deliver a champion and not to mold or build a champion. But if you bring Fonseca, he's a master coach. And the players and see a day, but he will not really challenge why players way also mobile and the way so mobile. Conte will challenge, he will push you. And that is what Milan needed, especially with some of the additions they made. And also with some of the players they retained. I think so collectively as a club, the top hierarchy have not really helped the Milan cause. Players are more expiry date. Expiry date is almost trim. But player bit na club, yes, it's in Sio, a chow to a more, a player bi wɔ ha club no watene mama na bro so time was an kojai no wenyai adezi nipa you will be in an establishment, you know there's a time to leave.
Yes.
Ejuma we the time near semichai. Sahana when it here. Obidi said Theo Hernandez. He has outlived the significance and the kind of contribution of Bayerdia Milan. The player aspires to get to better height. Milan cannot offer it. Better height near one sikasem. Salary at Theo Hernandez, a sheni trim se was origin, and then Milan ditiano. And the moment I'm in Fibebim, I am not able to give my all. Rafael Leao. He feels he deserves more than the Milan de Mano. Yes, he can come. But only Rafael Leao Tiwa fan to the team say, and Koma ye differ Ballon d'Or prospects anyway. It was a club be projected Modusa and on him say Milan into me. Check the last time a player from a club in Italy won the top prize in the world.
Last 3 crown on knees.
Say they be the winner.
So what JBA
exactly.
FIFA best and answer Ballon d'Or.
Kaka.
Oh.
Yeah. And to him say baby if he aspires to dine with the top boys, this is so free. And the players nearby, money how. And the best time to have sold these players was when they had won the Scudetto. Because one Milan after winning the Scudetto, where next do you challenge? Europe. You don't have the financial power to match up to the Madrid, the Man City more yeno. And to the best is, oh dear, Tetena Tombi, never yet the other Bayer Wufie, to say the Inter Milan here, Lukaku Sikano, they invested it wisely. I don't know if they share some team like and that is how Milan should have followed suit. Now I'm Rante Yatna, now I'm over Luneswati. See, you will tell me, yen tomo boa a sombo. And that is one issue they've really put themselves into, which shouldn't have happened. And again, Wafa Fonseca and Fa, Nue Janaquine, Nuakofa, a consensual. He also comes, he needs to get to grips with things. So Milan have collapsed on. You see, the case for João Felix, I think that he's a player we've overly tolerated. And the Mrena to see a cano credit the trade down for.
As a player, I have to son so pa.
Young cano credit fan trade down for. João Felix. Oh, come the carrier. Simeone. Oh, Monka, he's a defensive coach.
Yeah, can be like some years back.
Simeone is a defensive coach. Simeone no a defensive coach, you know. Yenya strikers a kuku da mama ye adwuma wanasia. Oma flourish. Radamel Falcao.
Yeah.
1. Diego Costa. 2.
Yeah.
David Biana na say Barcelona twine munsuo manasa no. Oba Atletico ma Simeone polish in the Energy League. Luis Suarez abasa for you ne to twine say waya akokra no. Oba ma Simeone polish in the Energy League. Antoine Griezmann was a winger, typical winger. It was Sociedad. Atletico. He is now their all-time top scorer. So he has a very high reputation for.
And Mike, not to cut you, Griezmann den Kramomu say, "Oh, I know where Juma Barca be fan of Koya and Queen."
Or something about Barca. Oh, the Enrichia, Okofa Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
Look at what he's doing with Alvarez. And the coaching might be defensive-minded, but Bono so if he gets a striker who is willing to work with him, he gets the best out of you.
New coach and Felix now.
Yeah, exactly. The same environment. And coach assistant.
Debbie.
Dear coach, near assistant. I dine a bimu betomua or moyefa. What you beto ye amfa.
But Chelsea are called Barcelona.
Barca. Okay, so Simeone na yet defensive minded. Barca, the Amenyacho or Mobo Catanasio. Barca BM. Anameboa. Or call is he saying. Lami amala bofre kume kram be bomb and ensen no. Oba Chelsea anameboa. Mosi ko pama na coach mane nye bimbo. Eni okomela no benye biabo. Okoya akosi sen. So there are times conversations I was here situated in the proper context near Tinsemase. And only time is the best judge. In the case of João Felix, time again is proving that. So on posterity, time is proving that enye Simeone na problem no na ya koda no not what was on one kasa hwe ne career no or we know certain things I was also no to me CSA. In Spain, the race is so Barca can prove at the point that they are too good. League no match here. Then no one also can self-capitulate. No match say at the end of the say ye dream in terms of they will also show their human nature. Barca will momentum, but Atletico are closely behind. And Metnas steady a fancy. Say Madrid and free Champions League in Madrid, then they can challenge. But since a team it will be difficult for Madrid so didn't any back on a better to Amienum.
Yes, or concentrate on the Champions League.
Considering the issues at World Camp, injuries. If Madrid had a full house, then they are in a position where we are very much capable of challenging for both. But since they have issues. And all issues are now, you put in mitigating measures. Send your beya Emma Winyansun Sansoni Bebre. Cameleta or your fit. Anka Kavaja or Anka Tony Cruz or when Kenyan Komokre was here. Last is no man. They did it. But they have lost out on something. The balance in the team is still missing. Their front three, in as much as Omoye explosive, Omoye solid, and so are no ye. And a defense no so ye leak in a coach no so say. And Quadano met me about no need deal Mumusa. You don't put Alaba in such a game.
Yeah.
David. Baby, a season year three. You ram into the last quarter of the season. I feel now soldier.
The last time when the car said Carlo you'll be as a on should pay you to say they be a Barca for La Masia for because okay say season homogen and Lonin a dem final now was say Kutuambra fine but Alaba then I was rushing it in the bind. I was even shocked.
I think coaches in the year you medru stage they build relationships. Been there to Pepsi so they are reluctant in allowing new players to enter into their setup. They carry on with that relationship. A bit to Joachim Löw for Germany. A bedroom stage we are not Thomas Muller Mobo and Abafom. But Tomoana still no use so. And the Germany who train now. I fail no more yet transitioning no more than Quadere rim. But first, no, I am penny for none, but all those and Koye. I am similar to what Ancelotti or more believe he say. Some fancy won't get a Mudiana Koye. I shall still trust you to deliver. And then some trust to be outside the circle to come in and deliver. It will take time. And yes, Ancelotti in Park in Koda or Penkoda. But he will need to build trust in you. So Rodrigo Yabo for Kuma.
Yeah.
And I'm a boy. Yeah. But I was saying, winning a trust. He needs to trust you first. And that is the problem. And also, and when you're careful, the transitioning becomes a bit too difficult. It won't mean you're so for Madrid, I think Omeah the third favorites to win the La Liga.
Ooh.
Yeah, and between Barcelona and Atletico. And me, who pushing me say me my favorite, I will give it to Atletico. Edientia, Hansi Flick, he's a very good coach, but also can show to make mistakes because on this level of experience, to say the Simeone in the league currently, coach being enough experience in the league than Simeone. And our a deep squad the Benya result. League Negiano, it is not winning all your games. It is making the most out of your matches. Atletico have mastered that.
Now you are squeezing 1-0.
Yep. Barca at the end a form momentum. On my last 3 matches, or maybe you keep it clean sheet. But the momentum will evaporate at a point. And we hear certain things to come to bear. Simeone Dioyeno, he's using his team to grind results. So even when the odds are stuck against them, they find a way. And then the match is remaining. Barca bebo Atletico. Or bebo Real Madrid. Atletico no ombo Madrid biyong. Or bebo Barcelona. Anameboa. Good. Madrid. I hope you get it. Barca will play Bilbao. And the games are canon. Atletico Diano ye manageable games which Simeone can carefully negotiate. I foresee the Champions League be your free. And ye your free more. Exactly the point. So to me, momentum no Barca fan. But to me, memetnasi dia. Atletico for bet me shime from unsem de jane.
Whoa, Mike, me that say, Mr. Boadu